Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video, I thought we could begin to have a closer look at some of the new changes and content coming with Brimstone Sands. This is currently available on the PTR. Before you click away, I will try to do two things. I want to show you, along with other potential people thinking of coming back, the changes that they have made, progress, and amazing things coming to the game. But I want to do so without spoiling content for people who hate that. So I will do my best to do both. So, there will be no quest walkthroughs or spoilers in this video. I will simply talk about the changes, but I won't get into it too deep. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So today I want to have a look at the revamp to the new player experience. Now I know, people who are already high level won't be overly interested in the content from 0 to 25, but I will say now, they should be. For one, this is a huge step in the right direction for the game, and a game-wide revamp which will come. And these changes are very good. I will tell you right now that after playing from 0 to 25 on the PTR, this made me want to reroll on the live servers when this releases. So first, let's look at how the devs describe it in the patch notes. We've completely redesigned the early levels of New World, so players who start the game or roll a new character will experience brand new stories and quests. Player feedback on the quest variety, AI variety, more streamlined quest lines with less running back and forth, and improved storytelling in those early stages of the game helped bring about the following changes. Quest flow through zones has been optimized with NPCs who move around and a central story thread that takes players through each region of the game, unlocking side content to pace out the experience. We've added a variety of new quest dynamics, from wave events to tracking and traversal challenges, puzzles in the ruins, unique interactions with the world, and dynamic events players will encounter. We've revised onboarding to stay focused on the central storyline, introducing the legacy of King Arthur and Monarch's Bluffs, and of course, the famine from the sorceress Medea in Windsward. Players will still converge on the hermit Jonas to start on the path to becoming soul wardens, but the Jonas quests have all been consolidated in Everfall. The hermit himself is now mobile, while the story and the quest flow vastly improved. We've also added a lot more character to the zones and settlements in Monarch's Bluff and Everfall. New enemies, new major locations, new challenges in the quests and the open world. Okay, with that in mind, let's get into it and see if they're blowing smoke up our ass, or if this is as good as it sounds. So the best way I think to tackle this without spoiling anything is to address these things that they say they've changed directly, and how it felt and looked in the game. This way I can talk about it from a perspective of playing instead of spoiling the new stories. So the biggest thing, and the first thing we'll talk about, is the quest flow through the zones. This has really been optimized. They weren't just saying that. With NPCs who move around in the central story thread that takes players through each zone and region of the game, unlocking side content to pace out the experience, as they say. This is one of the biggest and most impactful changes that they made, and they did an amazing job of it. Right off the bat, when you create a new character, this is great. Instead of having to run back and forth to the new player camp between quests, there are new NPCs who give you quests, then appear near where you had completed the task that they had sent you on, and allow you to turn it in and start the next in the series. I have to say I love this change. Not only does it save you hours in running time, but it also makes things feel a ton better while questing. Having the NPCs hiding nearby or standing on a rock or wherever nearby, leading you along from point of interest to point of interest, makes questing really feel like you're part of a story. There's a flow that before was broken by having to stomp all the way back to the settlement between quests. They have also revamped the story quest as well as the side quests in an amazing way. First, the story quest is way more engaging and interesting now, having you do things that actually feel like a quest, instead of how it has been, simply collecting X item from supply crates over and over and over again. Now there are actually objectives, unique interactions, and it's actually fun. And for the side quests, these are so different now. The first huge improvement is that they correspond with the story in location. So as you go through the main story, you will also encounter new NPCs in the wild along your route. They give you the old side quests for your camp and stuff like that. Before, they were all located, as you know, inside the settlements, and you would run around collecting them all, then doing the ones that you would go near while doing the main story. This of course led to a lot of confusion about camp upgrade quests, where to progress your faction and stuff like that. Now though, that has changed, and as you level and play through the story, you will encounter these quests on your path. Do them alongside the story in the same locations, again making the whole thing feel like an actual story. Like an adventure, and not a chore you have to walk 2 hours out of your way to complete. The next biggest change I love was that they have added a variety of new quest dynamics. This is big, and I know for now it only applies to the starting game, but I think we will see a lot more of it in Brimstone when it hits the PTR, which I find exciting. They've added some amazing elements to quests that completely change how New World feels. First, voiceovers for almost all of the important quest NPCs. This is a really big one, and really makes the quests feel great. A small thing, but a big thing. Also, the important lore notes, the ones that you have to click when you progress through the main story. These now are also voiced over, which is huge, because so many never actually read these, and New World has actually got a rich, cool story that almost no one actually knows. So having these voiced goes a long way to keeping people engaged and immersed. They have also added these like waking dreams or hallucinations that your character will have as you enter a point of interest or a part of the main story where you will hear, and in some cases see, a part of the story, so that you know why you're doing what you're doing and the story leading up to it. Again, this is huge.
They shall ruthlessly strike down their fellow.
And of course cutscenes, which is just amazing. Right now we only really have the audio, and I won't play it all as to not spoil it. But have a look at this.
And so it came to pass, the heart of the tempest, Captain Isabella herself, defeated, abandoned by the power for which she traded everything. The Soul Wardens were victorious, pulling Eternum and the world back from the precipice of doom. But at what cost? So many of their numbers corrupted or lost.
This to me is one of the biggest aspects of any MMO that New World was missing. Now for the cooler, smaller stuff. First, they have made the quests a ton cooler than they were before, having your objectives on top of jumping puzzles. Now, these are not difficult of course, but they are fun and add a little bit to the overall questing experience. They also, as I said earlier, are getting away from the monotony of collecting 5, 7, or 10 items from supply chests 200 times to 60, and have added interactive pictures, puzzles, special items, and more, making the quests finally feel like quests. They have also, of course, completely revamped the starting zones, Everfall, Windsward, First Light, and Monarch's Bluff. They have added dozens of new cool points of interest, many new NPCs and monster types, all to coincide with the new storyline in those zones. One of the biggest changes to the starting zones is with the teleport shrines. They have added so many new ones, coinciding with the MSQ hubs, so getting to your desired location to get right into the story is faster than ever before. No more will you have to purposely die in order to be time efficient. With all these new shrines, it just feels really smooth. So, is it actually good? Yes, it is way better than just good. It is almost like a new game. The story flows smoothly while teaching you all of the important things that you need to know in order to play, like crafting, combat, food, camping, and so on. It doesn't run you all over the zone. You will follow a path and it feels like you're on an adventure, making your way into a new land. The new story from 0 to 25 is interesting and engaging. There's nothing boring about it. Overall, it is just an amazing experience. These changes honestly had me excited while I was playing on the PTR that I was going to reroll when this drops on live because I just wanted to experience it all at the appropriate level. Now I know. You're asking why should you care about the new player experience when we're all level 60? Well, it has a wide ripple effect. These changes are only from 0 to 25 right now. But if they revamp the whole game experience, every zone, like they have done here, the whole game is going to change. These changes make it feel like an MMO, as it's supposed to feel. I've made 3 different characters on the PTR just to try each zone's story more. That's how good it actually is. So guys, if you're going to play the PTR, I recommend get on there and try the new player experience. It is so worth it. And if you're not the type to play the PTR and hate the spoilers, I will just tell you this. When this hits live, make an alt. You won't regret it. You may even find that this experience is so fun, it changes how you see New World, and you may not even go back to your main. Okay guys, that's all for the new player experience really. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or join my Discord and ask. I will have a new video coming soon on more of the features. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.